Hi folks, this may be a little longer video. I think I'm going to post it on YouTube instead of just TikTok. So, my name is Charles Firecat Burnell, and I am a part-time traveler, an abstract artist, and an author, a theorist, a humanist, a spiritualist. I like to travel, and when I do, I like to really observe the communities and areas that I'm traveling to so that I can really take in the experience. I'm not looking to be a tourist. I want to get to know the place, the culture, the community, see how it feels. Are people happy there? What is it really like? Not what do they present for tourists, but what is it really like there? And one of the things that I'm struck by and reminded of is the idea that a culture or society is measured by the way that it treats the least of its people, its lowest classes. And I'm seeing a very common trend across the country with our unhoused people, that they are criminalized and treated like less than human. In many cities, what I'm seeing is the houseless people are disappearing because they're all being arrested and put in jail. What happens when a jail fills up with houseless people and you don't have a place to put people that are actually dangerous to society? Those people that actually are dangerous to society just get probation and they're walking. They're still in the society and able to affect other people and have an impact on their daily lives. While they're able to continue participating in society, if they're harmful to society, they're also able to continue harming it. And since our current justice system is not restorative, it doesn't actually help those people to get any better. So back to all the unhoused people that have been put in jail. The middle class and those higher that don't want to see the dirty, filthy people that are just ruining their property value. Put them somewhere else where they don't have to see them, where they won't ruin my property value. I've worked so hard for this investment. Yes, we all work really hard. We don't all get back on, but you, smaller percentage do. And this isn't a punishment for those who are successful. It's a reminder that we're all human beings, and we all need to work together to get along in this world, and we're all doing the very best we can with the resources that we have access to. And so here we go, people that are houseless and set up semi-permanent camps in a neighborhood. That's their home at that time. In their mind, they believe that that is their home. They protect their home. They pick up garbage in the neighborhood around their home. They collect it, yes, and you may see collected garbage because many of them don't have a way to dispose of it very well all at once. They might do one bag at a time as their daily walk to a near dumpster, or perhaps they're collecting recycling in the area and it piles up before they have a chance to actually turn it in to get money for it. Or perhaps they're collecting garbage and refuse from the area and reusing it to build things in their little homestead in your neighborhood that makes you very uncomfortable because it looks trashy to you. Okay, so what happens when all those people that are temporarily or semi-permanently camping in neighborhoods throughout the city disappear and go to jail because they've been criminalized for being homeless? They are no longer present picking up your garbage. They are no longer present taking the recycling to a recycling center. They are no longer present reusing things that aren't garbage, but you just don't have a use for anymore, so you threw it away. They found a new use for it. Recycle, reuse. climate change is real. Our production lines are getting blocked up and stopped up. Everything is slowing down or getting more expensive because we are kind of in a crisis in the real world, not just unhoused people, but in terms of production and resources and resource distribution. Have you noticed how expensive groceries are getting? My point is, these people actually contributed something to your neighborhood when they were cleaning up garbage, reusing things that you found no use for. They found those things that you defined as garbage. Those were resources to them, and they found uses for them. Without stealing from people, they were taking garbage and making it into usable material. Or they were processing it and distributing it to where it should go to be recycled properly. Also, street security. If you live in a metropolitan or urban area where there were a lot of homeless people, and you would go out at night, go to a restaurant, walking around by yourself or with friends, and you might have felt uncomfortable because there were homeless people there with camps set up that just never seemed to go away. You know what a lot of those homeless people do? They protect their neighborhood. Again, if they feel like that camp that they're in is their home, they feel like they're part of that community, and they will protect that community, which means that there's some drunk asshole walking down the street trying to sexually accost a woman that is really drunk and he picked up from the bar, and it's probably going to end up being rape in an alley somewhere along the way. If somebody doesn't intervene, you know who does? It's that homeless person in the camp that's just a half a block down the street or along the path. They know it's wrong, and they know the cops don't do anything about it, and they take pride in their community, and they know that we're all human beings, and they jump up and they get in the middle of it. And they might just seem like this crazy person in the middle of the night that doesn't know what they're talking about or doing, but they know what they're doing. They will get up and intervene, and it might not keep that asshole from being an asshole, but it's going to give that gal a chance to get help, realize what's happening, and get away from the situation. I've seen things like this happen several times over the years when I've been in urban settings with homeless people, where you're in a business district, and even in residential districts, because when you walk from the business district into a residential district, that jerk that's trying to figure out a way to rape this woman and get away with it, he's eventually going to end up in a residential district with her. Now, these are just two examples of how homeless people in your city actually contribute to your community without you even noticing it, in a way that you will notice it when it's gone. I've talked to people here in Portland that are actually more uncomfortable walking to the corner store now that the homeless camps are gone, because they don't feel safe anymore because their neighborhood security is gone. They know they cannot rely on the police to actually provide that kind of security. So homeless people were that kind of security, and now they're gone. I think it would be fair to assume that homeless people conduct themselves in the same way in most metropolitan areas. In fact, it has been my experience over the years when I have been among them in different metropolitan areas that this has been the case. I really think it's ridiculous that we only put value on things that produce a revenue, because there is so much more to human interaction that is so incredibly valuable to the human experience. It is a resource. Emotional and social support is a resource. Contributing to the safety and security of your environment is actually a valuable contribution, even if you never get a dime for it. And it really, really bothers me that all these human beings are being rounded up like animals and not treated like human beings, and being punished for not generating revenue, ultimately. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think we should be rounding up animals and putting them in boxes either. I don't go to zoos for the same reason. It bothers me to see the animals in boxes. It doesn't feel natural to me. That's a whole nother tangent. I understand about sustainability. I understand about the habitats, and some animals are maybe they're hard to survive in the wild, or for whatever reason. There's all these justifications, and people really enjoy going, and they learn a lot from looking at the animals and all that stuff, and I still don't go because it still just doesn't sit right with me. And it doesn't sit right with me when we do that to humans either.